I'm Ethan, 36 years old. Up until just a couple months ago, I honestly believed I had a calm, normal marriage. No fireworks, no big fights, just comfortable daily habits that I thought added up to something solid. My wife, Nicole, always told me she liked things quiet. No drama, no scenes. I took her at her word. Maybe I took it too easily. It was a random Thursday night, one of those cool early spring evenings when everything feels a little slower. I just finished wiping down the kitchen counters when my phone lit up. Text from Nicole. Running late, helping my sister with a few things. Her little sister, Lena, softer voice, brighter smile, the kind of person whose whole face lights up when she's happy. The two of them were super close, so the message didn't set off any red flags at first. I just typed back, okay, be safe. Like always. But something tiny twisted in my stomach. Not panic, just a little tug. I ignored it. Probably shouldn't have. Hours dragged on. 9 turned into 10, 10 slipped past 11. No follow-up text, no quick call, nothing. Just thick silence that started to feel deliberate. I ended up on the couch with the TV on mute, some late-night host talking to nobody while my mind spun in loops. Something wasn't right, not screaming wrong, just off. Like the air gets heavy right before rain. Close to midnight I finally sighed, grabbed my keys and walked out. Not to hunt her down, not to start a fight. I just needed air. I sat in the driver's seat for a minute, then realized there was one place I could check without feeling like a creep. So I drove to Lena's. Her porch light was on. I knocked lightly, already half regretting it. When she opened the door, her hair was piled in a messy bun. Wearing mismatched pajamas, looking totally confused. Ethan? It's late. Everything okay? No fake shock, no guilty flicker. Just real concern. I let out a long breath. Is Nicole here? Her brows pulled together. No. I haven't seen her since Monday. Why, did something happen? Something cold settled in my chest. Not rage, not terror, just a slow, sharp realization. I forced a nod, keeping my face neutral. She told me she was helping you tonight. Lena's eyes softened with worry. She's not here. Come in, you look pale. I stepped inside, not because I still had questions, the answer was already clear, but because I needed to be around someone who wasn't feeding me lies. We talked for about an hour. Nothing deep, just easy small talk that somehow felt warm and safe. Lena's always been that person who makes any room feel a little kinder. Eventually I crashed on her couch. She wouldn't let me drive home half dead on my feet. I woke up earlier than usual, sun barely up, the living room glowing soft gold. Lena was already in the kitchen, hair down, pouring coffee and scrambling eggs. You were restless all night, she said with a little smile. Figured food might help. I actually smiled, first time in forever, it felt like. Thanks. Seriously. We ate across from each other in this weirdly peaceful morning, and there was something almost cruelly poetic about sharing breakfast with the exact person my wife swore she'd been with. Around 7 the front door opened. I knew the sound instantly. Nicole had this confident way of walking in like every room already belonged to her. She stopped dead when she saw me. Hair perfectly brushed, clothes spotless, like she'd never done anything more strenuous than sit on a couch. Her eyes widened for half a second before she plastered on a smile. Ethan? What are you doing here? I finished my last bite of toast, wiped my mouth, leaned back nice and slow. Lena stood behind the counter, arms crossed, already reading the room. Nicole glanced between us. I thought you'd be home. I let a small calm smirk show. Morning. Rough night. She swallowed. I told you I was helping. I lifted my coffee, tapped the mug gently on the table. Funny thing. I just had breakfast with your sister. She says you weren't here. Her mask slipped just a crack. I leaned in, voice low and even. So tell me, Nicole. Was Ryan finished with you already? She froze completely. No blush of shame, no explosion of denial. Just pure shock that the lie had crumbled before she even got both feet in the door. Lena's head snapped toward her. Nicole, what is he talking about? My wife opened her mouth, closed it, tried again. Ethan, whatever you think. I'm not thinking. I cut in, still calm. I'm just repeating your schedule, apparently. She flinched. I wasn't yelling. I wasn't even accusing. I was just finished. And she heard it. Ethan, she said softer. Let's talk outside. Nope. Inside works. We're all grown-ups. Besides, Lena deserves to know why her name got dragged into this. That made her eyes flash not with guilt, but with panic at losing control of the story. Ethan, please. Lena stepped forward, arms tight across her chest. You lied. You told him you were with me. Nicole pressed her fingers to her temples. I didn't want him stressing. I let out a quiet, humorless laugh. Right. Because vanishing all night and hiding behind your sister is super calming. Nicole's composure finally cracked. I didn't vanish, I needed space. From me, I finished. She didn't argue. That was all the answer I needed. Lena's voice was sharp now. Nicole, who's Ryan? He's nobody, she whispered. I raised an eyebrow. Nobody texts you at 2 a.m. and calls during dinner. Her face fell. She knew I'd seen the history. I wasn't cheating, she rushed out. We just talked. He works at the studio. Ah, the studio, I said, where all those extra shifts suddenly appeared. Silence. Thick, guilty silence. Lena looked sick. Have you been with him? Nicole finally glanced at me, eyes wet. I didn't mean for anything to happen. That quiet sentence carried everything it needed to. I nodded once. Yeah, I figured. I'm not dumb, Nicole. Just trusting. My bad. She reached for me. I stepped back before she made contact. The hurt flashed across her face, but I wasn't here to soothe it anymore. Ethan, we can fix this. Therapy, a break, anything. Just don't throw us away. Throw us away? I almost smiled. I'm not the one who buried us. She started crying harder, but never once denied Ryan, never promised it was over, never fought for me. Only for the comfortable life she'd just blown up. I stood, pushed my chair in slowly. Here's the plan. You go home. Pack whatever you want. I'll be gone all afternoon. When I get back, you're not there. Tears spilled instantly. Ethan, no. I'm not ending anything, I said. I'm just letting you live with the choices you already made. She covered her mouth, shoulders shaking. Lena wiped her own eyes, voice cracking. I can't believe you used me as your cover. Nicole whispered, I'm sorry. But it wasn't for the lie, it was for getting caught. I looked at Lena. Thank you for last night. I'm sorry you got pulled into this. She shook her head. You didn't pull me in. She did. I walked to the door. Nicole reached out like she might grab me, then thought better of it. Before I stepped outside, I paused, looked back one last time, voice still quiet, still steady. You wanted a night away with him? Cool. Enjoy the rest of your life with those decisions too. She broke, a raw sob ripping out of her. But I was already walking away. The cool morning air felt clean, final. I didn't need revenge or a big scene. Sometimes the clearest goodbye is the one you give without ever raising your voice.